Ninth Standard, English, Unit 3, Drama, Old Man River. Dorothy Deming. Warm-up. Look at this picture of cyclone, floods, earthquake and tsunami. A. Discuss in pairs for 2 minutes on any one of these natural disasters. You may use the following points: causes, damages, precautions. B. Fill the word web with words related to natural disasters. One example is done for you. Natural disasters, collapse. C. Imagine a situation where your house is surrounded by water and answer the following. 1. What health hazards are caused when water stagnates around your place? 2. When there is a power shutdown for long hours during floods, what will you do? 3. What precautions would you take if there is an announcement about flooding in your area? D. List out the human activities which have an impact on nature. Complete the tabular column. One is done for you. Human activities, impact on nature. 1. Dumping of toxic waste into oceans. Affects marine life. 2. Using of aerosol and air conditioners. 3. Encroaching in forest area. 4. Disposal of non-biodegradable wastes. 5. Emission of smoke from industries and vehicle. Divide the class into 2 groups. Allot the roles for reading aloud. Start reading scene 1 followed by scene 2. To enact, follow the stage directions given in brackets. Character: Amy Marshall, 17 years old. Betty Marshall, her younger sister. Rose Field, 16 years old, the Marshall's neighbor. Sarah Field, 9 years old, Rose's sister. Jim Hall, 17 years old, another neighbor. Mr. Peters, member of the Red Cross Disaster Committee. Penny Marsh, Red Cross nurse. Time: late afternoon in March. Setting: living room of the Marshall's home. Scene 1. At Rice. Amy, Betty, and Rose are sitting around the living room table. Amy and Rose are knitting. Betty is looking at pictures in a magazine. The stage is not very bright. Rose: goodness, it gets dark early on these rainy days. Mind if I raise the shade a bit, Amy? Amy: no, do, but I guess we need the light on too. She goes over and puts on the electric light. Rose, going to the window: how it rains in sheets, and look, your backyard is a small lake. Amy, joining Rose at the window: gracious, I've never seen it rain so hard, and this is the 3rd day of it. Betty puts down magazine and runs to the window. Whee! It's more than a lake. It's a sea. The radio said the river was above flood stage this morning. Whatever that means. Amy, it means that the water is above that white line on the bank at Thompson Bridge. It must have covered the South Meadows and the highway there. Rose, it isn't only the rain. It's the snow melting in the hills in the northern part of the state. The girls return to the table. Oh, I hope we don't have a flood here. There is a noise of stamping feet and someone breathing hard. The girls all look to the right, the direction of the sounds. Jim Hall, entering from the right in shining wet raincoat and the rain helmet, which he drags off as he enters. He is panting. Gosh, girls, it is a cloudburst. He kicks off his shoe. I've run every step of the way from school to get here. The river is rising fast. The Burnett Dam gave way an hour ago, they say, and it looks bad. Where is your mother, Amy? Amy. She took Dick to the dentist and was going to stop at Mrs. Brand's for a recipe on her way home. She ought to be here soon. Jim. And your father? Amy. In Chicago on business. But why all the questions, Jim? Jim. Well, you see. He is interrupted by the ring of the telephone. Amy exits left to answer it. Her voice can be heard clearly. Amy. Hello? Yes, mother. I know. Isn't it awful? How will you get home? Yes, mother. I'm listening carefully. Amy's voice grows very serious. Yes, yes, yes. I will. No, mother. No, I won't. Jim Hall is here, and Rosefield too. Yes, all right. I'll then tell them. Goodbye. Amy returned to the room. She is looking very scared. Mother can't get home from Mrs. Brand's. The bridges between here and town are under water. Rose, mother says you are to telephone your mother right away and tell her you will spend the night here. Rose, I will. That will be fun. Hurries from the room. Emmy, Betty, you and I are to fill all the bowls, tubs, piles, and pitchers with fresh water, in case the town supply is cut off or made unsafe to drink. Mother says she hopes you will stay and help us, Jim. Jim, that's just why I came. Emmy, I think I'll look up at a lantern. And Betty, interrupting, I've got a flashlight. I'll get it and some candles. Rose, from outside, still at the telephone, with irritation. Central? I'm trying to get Main 3022. I can't. There is a pause and Rose comes to the door, her face frightened. The telephone is dead. I can't get Central. There isn't even a buzzing on the line. Jim, means the lines are down between here and town. Well, girls, let's get organized. Betty, look up your flashlight and candles, lamps, lanterns, or anything you've got. Rose, fill the tubs and piles, and Amy and I will check on food, blankets, and coats. Better get out the first aid kit. Everyone make it snappy. Rose and Betty exit left. Jim turns to Emmy. This is serious, Emmy. I don't want to scare you, but your house is in the direct line of the river. If the dam has given way, he goes to the window. Well, if it has, you can see for yourself that it means we can't get out by the main road and we are already cut off from the south side. Look, he points out the window. Emmy joins him. She gasps. Emmy, Jim, the water is up around the garage. I thought it was just a pool in the garden, but it's Jim, soberly, the river. Yes, that's old man River himself creeping up to your door. Jim and Emmy watch it a moment. Emmy shudders. Amy, oh, Jim, I'm scared. Jim, placing a hand on her shoulder. Steady, old pal. We've been through bad things before and come out safely. Remember the school fire? First thing, we must not let the others see how scared we are. Next, get all the things you can together here. Water, food, blankets, coats, lights. I'm glad I served on the Junior Red Cross Emergency Squad during the war. It's too bad you live in a bungalow instead of a two-story house, but we can always climb into the attic and onto the roof. Emmy, still staring out the window. How fast is the river rising, do you think, Jim? Jim, I don't know, and it might stop before it reaches us. If only the rain would let up. We will signal for help from the roof. They will send a boat or something. Rose, entering left. I've got enough fresh water to last us a week. We will send a boat for us. Jim, and from where? She goes to the window, screams. Horrors! Look at the river. Amy. Shh, Rose, don't tell the others. Jim says we will be all right. Let's see what food we have on hand. Betty, entering left. Here are the lights. Did you say food? Hark, what's that? All four stand perfectly still listening. From far off a child's voice is heard. Sarah. Rose. It's me, Sarah. Rose. Sarah? Where is she? All run to the window. Amy. There she is. On the playhouse porch. How did she get there? Rose. Followed me here, probably. She loves that playhouse, the little monkey. Jim goes out calling, Stay where you are. Sarah, I'll get you. Amy. It's lucky the playhouse is on high ground. Rose, still at the window. But it isn't. Look, it's nearly afloat. The girls gather at the window. There goes Jim. Look, the water is above his knees. Amy, he will need dry clothes. See if you can find some of Dad's things for Jim. Betty, Sarah can have Dick's. Rose, there. He has got her. Emmy, I'll make some hot cocoa for everyone. There is a thumping and voices at the right, and Jim enters carrying Sarah. Pick a bag. Sarah is beaming. Sarah, hello, everybody. That was fun. Write some more, please, Jim. Jim, no, young lady, that's enough. You're heavy. She is dry as a bone. Rose, I'm not. Emmy, you can have some of Dad's things. I'm going to get us some supper. As she says this, the lights go out. They all gasp and Betty screams. Jim, trying to sound casual, Powerhouse must be out of commission. Light your candles, Betty. Betty switches on the flashlight and lights 3 candles. Emmy, I'm glad we have an oil stove for cooking. Rose, taking a candle, forward march to the kitchen. Betty takes a candle and follows with Sarah trailing. All exit right. Humming, tramp, 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 the boys are marching. Jim, in a low voice to Emmy, the river was up another foot. Emmy, another hour and that playhouse would have been floating out in the current. At this rate, the floor here will be under the water by morning. Emmy, what will we do then, Jim? Neither Sarah nor Betty is a strong swimmer. Jim, I'm going to climb out on the roof and start waving the flashlight. Someone will see it and come for us. Emmy, but who? No one is on the main road and there are no houses within sight of us. That will be just a pinpoint of light. Aren't you scared? Jim, you bet. Are you? Emmy, terrified. But I'm glad you're here. Jim, we'll see it through. If we just keep our heads. Curtain. Discuss with your partner and answer the following questions. What were the girls doing in the living room? Why was mother not able to come home? How did Jim want the girls to get organized? Which 2 important things did Jim want the girls to do to avoid getting scared? Where did Jim want the girls to climb up? How was it going to help them? Who went to get Sarah? Where was she? Scene 2. Time, an hour later. Setting, the same. At Rice. Same group is in the living room with the exception of Jim. Sarah is asleep, covered with a blanket, in a big chair. Emmy, Rose, and Betty have 3 candles on the table. Betty is trying to read. Betty, putting down her book with a thud. I can't read by this light. How do you suppose our grandmothers ever did? Rose. I don't believe they tried to read. I guess they went to bed when it grew dark. Amy. Maybe we ought to go to bed. It's nearly 11, but I couldn't sleep a wink. Betty. Nor I. Rose. Nor I. Listen, what's that noise? All three listen, Rose running to the window and peering out. I can't see a thing. It's pitch dark. It sounded like something bumping against the house. Betty nervously. Oh, come back. Let's stick here together. Jim, entering left in raincoat, carrying flashlight. Battery's dead. I waved it almost 100 times, though. Maybe somebody saw it. Betty, scornfully. Maybe. Jim, it has stopped raining anyway, and let us start moving everything to the attic. Bring the food and water first, then the blankets. I'll do the carrying up the ladder to the roof. Betty, my new spring coat. I'm going to save that. She rushes out, left taking a candle with her. Rose, going over to her sister, shaking her gently. Sarah, Sarah, wake up, dear. We are going to sleep in the attic. Sarah, oh, where am I? Rose, come on. She helps Sarah to her feet and quickly wraps a blanket around her. To the attic. Exits left, leading Sarah and taking one of the candles with her. Amy, out to get father's most valuable books and mother's jewel case. And Jim, Amy, we will need water and food more than books and jewels. You don't seem to realize. He is interrupted by a cry from outside. Right. Mr. Peters. Hello there. Hello in the house. Mr. Marshall. Mr. Marshall. Amy. They have come for us. Here we are. She runs to the window. Jim, picking up the third candle from the table, running to the window and waving it back and forth. Here we are. In here. Betty, entering on the run from the left, carrying her dress box. Are we rescued? Who is there? Mr. Peters, still outside. Mr. Marshall, are you all right? This is Tom Peters and Miss Marsh, the Red Cross nurse. We are here in a boat. Jim, row around to the back porch. You can get in there. There is a bumping of the boat against wood. Voices. Steady now there. I've got hold of the rail. Tie her up. Jim and Emmy exit right towards the voices. More voices greeting. And then Mr. Peters enters the living room with a lighted lantern, followed by Miss Marsh, Amy, and Jim. Betty, we are rescued. We are rescued. Come, Sarah. Mr. Peters, why are you children all alone? Amy, yes, we. There is a terrific crash followed by a wail of pain and a scream. Rose, off stage left. Oh, Sarah, she's fallen off the step ladder. Come quick, somebody. I've dropped my candle and it's gone out. Mr. Peters, Miss Marsh, who is carrying a small black bag, and Amy rush off stage left. Betty. Oh, I hope she hasn't broken her neck. Jim. Get the first aid box. It's in that pile of coats. I'll fix a place for her to lie down. He arranges chairs so Sarah can lie down. Mr. Peters enters left carrying Sarah. Steady now. You are all right. More frightened than hurt, I think. He places Sarah on the chairs. Amy, placing the lantern near Sarah. I'm glad Miss Marsh is here. Miss Marsh is examining Sarah. Sarah is sobbing softly, saying every so often, it hurts. Rose kneels beside Sarah's chair, holding her hand. Jim stands in the background with Betty. Sarah, it's my leg that hurts. Miss Marsh, yes, you have hurt it badly, Sarah, but we can fix it up and we will all get into the boat and take you home. You are going to be all right. She motions to Mr. Peters, Jim, and Amy to move to one side of the stage. Rose stays with Sarah. She has broken her right leg just below the knee. We can splint it up with pillow and umbrella and lift her safely into the boat. I think we ought to take her to the emergency Red Cross hospital in the armory. Mr. Peters, we can take Rose and Betty along too, but Jim, you and Amy will have to stay until we can get back for you or send some other boat. Miss Marsh returns to surround Sarah's right leg with pillow, using an umbrella and cane along the outside to keep the leg stiff. Jim, that's all right. We will be perfectly safe up on the roof. Mr. Peters, we can leave you an extra lantern and a jar of coffee. Need anything else? Amy, only some of your calmness. We will be all right. Thanks. Mr. Peters, don't thank me. Thank the Red Cross. He gave over to Sarah and helps lift her into a blanket rolled to form a stretcher. Miss Marsh picks up her bag. Jim and Mr. Peters lift and carry Sarah towards the right. We can swing her down into the boat very easily. It won't hurt a mite, Sarah. Get your things, Rose and Betty. You are going with us. Rose and Betty grabs their coats. Betty takes her dress box. Sarah, drowsily, Miss Marsh gave me something to stop the hurt. It almost gone. Amy, at the door, dropping a kiss on Sarah's forehead as they carry her out. That's fine, dear. Have a nice boat ride. She waves as the stretcher goes out, followed by Rose and Betty. Try to get word to Mother that we are all right. Betty, and to Jim's family too. Betty, I'll try. I hope you'll be rescued soon. Bye. Rose, goodbye, Amy. Good luck. Amy, goodbye. There is more thumping, only less loud than before, and voices giving directions. Amy fusses with the lantern, trying to get it lighted. Mr. Peters, off stage. You will be all right, Jim. Jim, still off stage. Yes, don't worry about us. Goodbye. Voices in the distance, the sound of oars. Jim enters right, wiping his forehead. Amy gets the lantern lighted and blows out candles. Water's dropping. He pours 2 cups of coffee from Mr. Peters' jar, hands one to Amy, raises his cup as though in a toast. Here's to the coffee, lantern, and rescue. I'm glad we have a wide awake, well-equipped disaster committee in this town. Amy, and a Red Cross nurse for emergencies. Thank God for the rescue. Both lifting the coffee cups and drink. Still standing. Curtain. Discuss with your partner and answer the following questions. What were the important objects that the girls and Jim tried to move to the attic? Why? Who came to rescue the children? What happened to Sarah? Who is Miss Marsh? How does she help Sarah? Who were taken in the boat? Who were left behind? How does Red Cross help the children? Glossary. Stamping. Bringing down one's foot heavily on the ground. Cloudburst. A sudden violent rainstorm. Pitcher. A large jug. Lantern. A lamp with a transparent case protecting the flame or electric bulb, and typically with a handle by which it may be carried or hung. Gasp. Catch one's breath with an open mouth owing to pain or astonishment. Shudder. Shiver typically as a result of fear or revulsion. Hark. Listen, pay attention. Thumping. Hitting or striking heavily, especially with fist or a blunt instrument. Pick a bag. A piggyback ride on the back and shoulders of another person. Wink. Close and open one eye quickly, shine or flash intermittently. Splint. A long flat object used as a support for a broken bone so that the bone stays in a particular position while it heals. Do you know? The Red Cross Society is an international humanitarian service organization. It is the biggest independent, non religious, non political, non sectarian, and voluntary relief organization treating people equally all over the world without any discrimination as to their nationality, race, and religious belief. It was established in 1863 in Geneva, Switzerland by Jean Henry Dunant, the father of Red Cross movement and recipient of Nobel Award for Peace in 1901. Do you know? If you experience an emergency of any kind, accidents or natural disasters anywhere in India, the number you should call is 108. Do you know? The fourth oldest dam in the world was built by King Karikala Chola across the river Kaveri in the 2nd century CE. It is called the Kallanai Dam or the Grand Anaikat.